Greetings and welcome. This is Keeping in Touch, one of the ways that we here at Sylvania United Church of Christ stay in touch with each other. We started it when we were all in lockdown earlier on in COVID. Now things have gotten much better, but we are keeping in touch with one another through this video today. I am Reverend Vern Sweat, and I'm joined by Kristen Leverton and Diane Christofferson, members of our ministry team, as well as Ken Streitenberger, one of our church leaders. I'm going to start by inviting Ken to give us an update regarding the LPGA parking event, one of our major fundraisers for mission and ministry. Ken?
Thank you, Vern. Yes, just want to remind people that our LPGA Marathon Classic comes 2 weeks from this week. So we're in the swift process of signing up people to volunteer to help us park cars for that day. The registrations are going well. The sign-ups for it on the Sign Up Genius, we're well over the halfway point, but we still have about 40 slots left for people to sign up for. As you would expect, the week starts off slowly with Wednesday and Thursday, and then Friday it begins to pick up. Saturday and Sunday are our real crunch times, and those are the places that concern me most when I watch the signups, and that's where I want to emphasize today. If you're looking at a place to sign up, we'll take you anywhere, but Saturday and Sunday would be extremely helpful right now, especially from noon on, or at least noon till 3. That's when we shift from parking in the lot to parking on the hill, and takes a lot of people to do that. The tournament is July 8 through 11, and it's a great opportunity, as we said the last time, to fellowship with one another, to get reacquainted with people you've missed over this last year and a half when we haven't been able to be together. The Sign Up Genius, you can find it on our website. You can also find it on the weekly reminders that the office sends out. There'll be a slot there like there was last week where you can click on it and sign up. And if all else fails and you come to worship in person on Sunday morning, Jane Ransom will have a laptop out in the gathering area where you can ask her to sign you up. It will then record your volunteer. It will send you an email to remind you, and it will have it all taken care of for you. One thing that I've not said yet, for those of you who have done it before, you know that one of the pluses of being a part of the LPGA tournament is that the tournament gives us a few tickets that we can share with our congregation so that they can see the golf in person and watch how these women play a terrific game of golf on the course. The tickets are free. You can use them for a day or a couple of days. They're tickets we all share, so you don't get to keep the tickets, but you use it for a day, bring it back, and somebody else will use it. Jeff Crandall is who you want to contact to reserve your tickets, and they're good for the whole tournament, Thursday through Sunday, and they're nice addition to have for it. If you have questions, feel free to talk to any of us on the committee. That's Jeff Crandall, Jeff Finch, Jane Ransom, Al Compon, Chris Durant, and myself, Ken Streitenberger. We hope you'll be signing up for us. We'll look forward to getting to serve with you. And as Vern said, raise lots of good funds to help the ministry of our church, our mission partners, and the trustees in their capital campaigns that they have, like keeping the parking lot up that we get to use. So we'll hope to see you. Thank you.
Ken, just occurred to me, what do people actually do? Is it just like directing traffic, or you get to like take people's keys and drive around expensive cars like if you were a valet parking person? Or Is it primarily directing traffic or something else?
It is primarily taking traffic. There are people at the very entrance that will take the $10 that people donate to park in our lot, and then we direct you to wherever the parking spots are. We start with the surface parking lot with the grass. It's on the level. And then as the day progresses and the day gets busier, we move you down the way to the hill and down the valley and up the ravine and across. It's all very orchestrated, how it moves and how it gets paid for. One-way entry and one-way out so that we don't have cars crashing into each other. And thank goodness we don't have to take the keys and park the cars. I don't want that responsibility, and I don't think they want us doing it either.
So we're just kind of helping people move through a well-organized system and keeping it running smoothly, and maybe just extending people a positive welcome and representing our church. So a good community fellowship event in multiple ways.
It is. Yeah, you get to see people who are not a part of our congregation that you see every year because we have a huge return traffic.
Oh, okay.
They come back, they look forward to it. They want to know how the church is doing. We always wish them a good time at the event. They keep us informed about who's leading and how long it's going, because quite frankly, if it gets late in the day and the tournament's about over and there's really nothing to see, we stop parking and quit collecting money. We're not out to just make a huge profit. We just want to help. It's a good community event as well.
Thanks so much to you, Ken, Jeff Crandall, who I know has shepherded this project over how many years? A good number of years.
Yeah, since 89, 88, something like that.
A good number of years, and it's provided a lot of support for a good number of causes. So thank you again to you, Jeff Crandall, Jeff Finch, the whole team, Jane Ransom for doing the signups at church, and to everyone who has signed up or thinking about it. It would just be so great to have your participation.
Thank you.
I'd like to take just a couple of minutes to give a few, probably for most people, reminders regarding our mid-year meeting, but that's a very important meeting. So we want to make sure that everyone has the needed information. A couple of basic items. The meeting is right after worship. It is both in person and also online via Zoom, so that we can include as many people as possible. The link for those attending via Zoom will be again included in the weekend update, so look for that. And I also want to point out that childcare will be provided. So families with young children, Kristen, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure that our two regular childcare providers are simply going to stay for another chunk of time. Sounds like we have them for more than enough time that will be needed, but we really would love to have parents, young families represented at the meeting, so we have the childcare to make that as convenient as possible for you. An information packet will go out today, or if not by the end of today, then tomorrow. We're still gathering some information, but it will include the agenda as well as a variety of other material that'll be important for the meeting. Be on the lookout for that. It'll be sent out both via email to everyone who's on our email list, but also hard copies, snail mail for people who don't have access to email. If you have the ability to do so, we would ask that you print out any materials that you want to bring to the meeting. We will print some of the material or limited copies of it, but in an attempt not to waste a lot of paper, we would ask those who are able to to print out and bring your copies with you. I think that covers the basics. Is there anything, Diane, Kristen, Ken, any of you can think of that we might want to add to that? I just want to add that as a congregational church, a church that is committed to congregational process, it's important to have as much input as we can get from people. So I would invite you to feel free to talk with me, Jeff Finch, our moderator, Steve Long, vice moderator, or any member of church leadership, any member of our cabinet. If you have any questions that we might be able to answer before Sunday, the more questions that we can answer ahead of time, the more smoothly, hopefully, the meeting will go. But we are all committed to communicating as clearly as possible. There's a lot happening, a lot involved, so it can be confusing, but I think we've done a pretty good job of answering a lot of questions, but nonetheless, we want people to feel free to share anything that you might want to share, to ask anything that you might want to ask, so we can help people understand as clearly as possible. And I would close this segment by simply repeating what I lifted up on Sunday, which is that it's been quite an amazing year. And I think what we have accomplished as a church, a community of faith in the past year is pretty amazing when you think of all that we've done in the context of the COVID pandemic and the ways that has caused us to adapt, to change, to do things differently. In addition, having a new minister starting in the midst of all that, when you put it all in context, we really have done a great job as a church. We have a very strong foundation, and my perspective on the mid-year meeting is that all the decisions we make, what we're talking about is how to build on the foundation that we have, how to take the momentum that we have going and kind of forge ahead into the new year. We're by new year, to me, that I kind of think of September when school starts again. We have a lot to do over the summer. VBS is happening. I think Kristen will talk about that. But we're moving into the next phase of our life as a congregation. And again, reminding ourselves of what we have done as a community of faith, and especially that we haven't done it alone, that God has been with us in incredibly powerful ways through all of it. Yes, we've done our part. God has done God's part. I like to say, if we do our best, God will do the rest. And I just want to thank all of our church leaders and church members for doing our best. Now we trust God to do the rest. So that's my perspective on our mid-year meeting. And as I kind of alluded to, there's a lot happening over the summer. And so I'm going to segue to Kristen to talk about a couple of things that are coming up.
Thank you, Vern. Yes, we're really excited to be hosting Vacation Bible School at the church, completely outside, weather permitting, the last week of July. The dates are July 26th through the 29th. The theme is Hop, Skip, Jump into God's Love. So you'll be seeing registration forms going out soon. We're in need of station leaders and guides for the teams. So we'll be reaching out to many people to get our volunteer base for that. So we're really excited about that happening. Also, our habitat build is ongoing. That is a rehab that's happening there in Sylvania on Artwell. So if you haven't had a chance, you might make a pass by just to see. It's a gut renovation. They literally took it down to the studs, took a wall out, and they're in the process of rebuilding it. So very exciting thing for our church to be a part of, and an important thing that the LPGA parking funds make possible. I just want to let you know that our coffee talk, our weekly fellowship on Zoom on Sunday mornings is going to be wrapping up for the summer this Sunday, June 27th. So join us at 9:30 on Zoom, and then we're going to take a break. That has been a wonderful way to connect with our church family during this time of COVID. And we're very appreciative to the fellowship board, in particular, Kelly Michael and the Stenders for making that possible for us week to week. And one last fellowship event this Saturday, June 26th, mini golf, miniature golf, putt-putt. I grew up calling it putt-putt at Quarry Ridge in Ottawa Lake. That's at 11 o'clock on Saturday. If you'd like to participate, show up. It's $5. That includes a round of mini golf, a hot dog, and a beverage. So hope to see you there.
So some things are wrapping up and other things are ramping up. Hop, skip, jump into God's love. That sounds like a lot of fun. Hop, skip, jump into God's love. I have a couple of weeks of vacation coming up soon, but I will be back and look forward to hopping, skipping, jumping into God's love with all of the young people and adult leaders that are able to be a part of Vacation Bible School. I'm really looking forward to that. And also just celebrate our Habitat for Humanity project, providing housing for people in need is a wonderful way to live out God's love, to put our faith into action. So that's great. I was there with Kristen for, what was that called, Kristen? I want to say blessing. The blessing. Okay, I was right. When it first got started. To go back and see the progress will be quite meaningful. Let's see. Diane, can I call on you? Anything that you would like to share?
You did an excellent job explaining the upcoming materials that will be forthcoming in preparation for the mid-year congregational meeting. So thank you for sharing that so completely that I don't think I have anything to add.
Sorry about that. I covered all the bases and I took.
Oh, don't be sorry. You did excellently. Thank you.
You know what I would add there? One church member made a good suggestion. She said that she was a visual person and having something to see would be helpful. So one piece of the material is an organization chart that shows kind of our present staffing structure and then what the new structure would look like. It's not really major change, but if you're a visual person, this org chart I think does help you to see what we're excited about and what we will be discussing. So yeah, again, look for that material. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to call me or anyone else. And okay, I think that covers that. As we said just a minute ago, some things are wrapping up and other things are ramping up. The keeping in touch videos, they've been great throughout the course of the pandemic. For now, they are wrapping up, and we'll see where we are on the other side of the summer. Hopefully, we will be back even more in person, but communication is always important. So we'll just see where we are down the road. But this will be the last keeping in touch video for now. I would like to kind of start to wrap up the video by sharing a quote that came to me Sunday afternoon, Sunday evening. Actually, Rick St. John sent this to me after Sunday morning worship and hearing the sermon. And the quote is about what I was sharing in the sermon that strength is a combination of what we traditionally think of as strength, but also tenderness, and how we see that in God, and how the balance is a part of what it means to be a truly whole human being. So here's the quote, perfect summation of what I was hoping to convey Sunday. It's from Saint Francis de Sales. There is nothing so strong as gentleness, and there is nothing so gentle as real strength. There is nothing so strong as gentleness, and there is nothing so gentle as real strength. I think that says a lot. So thank you to Rick St. John for sharing that, and I hope we can all kind of live that out in our lives. Let me lead us in a closing prayer. Loving God, God of love, we pray for our church, our state, our country, and our world. As individuals and as a community of faith, may we shine your light and share your love in all that we say and in all that we do, for the sake of all your children, for the sake of our world. In Jesus' name, amen.